So we're just about a year old since our public beta. So we went into public beta June 24th. So it'll be exactly a year, a little bit later this month. And then, private beta was a couple of months before that. So basically, like in that first year, we sort of did everything the hard way. Kind of the way that you're not supposed to build like a new web company. So like instead of being web-based, we like wrote all these native apps for Mac and Windows and iPhone and everything else. And we didn't have anything social or viral. We just focused on kind of your brain. Didn't really care about your friends or sharing or anything of that kind of stuff. And so kind of in our second year of operation, we're changing a bunch of that stuff. So we've got a major release coming out pretty soon that'll introduce a whole bunch of sharing and collaboration options. So you'll be able to designate, notebooks and say, okay, I want to publish this to everyone, or I want to share these just with these particular named people. You'll be able to give, read-only access or read-write access. So you'll be able to really have kind of collaborative groups on your notes and your documents. So it really sort of becomes, shared memories, not just your memories. We've got a bunch of work coming out to basically just improve. We're kind of constantly doing UI, optimizations. We finally started doing some real usability testing. As you can probably tell, all the current stuff is pretty much designed by engineers, and I think we did a reasonably good job for that. But we're definitely a lot of improvements are possible by actually getting some, actually focusing on like usability and how people use the software. So we've just started, investing in that, and so I really expect like over the next 6 months, all of our stuff will just become, much better looking.
Yeah.
We've got a whole bunch of international language versions. So right now we were just English, and then we recently launched Russian, just because it was like a really good test case for us. A bunch of us speak Russian, and it was easier. We were more certain that we wouldn't make any really embarrassing mistakes. But we did all the work to localize everything, and then we did Russian first, including all the image searching. And so now we're going to come out with new languages basically every month or so until we have every language.
Yeah, now all the infrastructure's in place, so it's going to be easy to roll out.
But about 6 months ago, we basically decided we're going to do a total rewrite of the Windows stuff to make it a lot more Mac-like. And that's almost done. So basically this summer we're launching a Windows version that'll be basically take all of the best features of our Mac app and hopefully make that available. Yeah, zoomable thumbnails.
So
we actually have almost as many Mac users as Windows users.
Which is close, yeah.
Yeah, I think we have it's like 36% is on Windows and like 32% or something is on Mac. So it's like it's almost neck and neck, which is kind of crazy, right? We should have 3 or 4 times more Windows users than Mac users. But our Mac client is just better and develops faster.
What's the other 20%?
Oh, like all the phones, like iPhone. And so I mean, like that's most of our users actually use this on more than one platform. Mm-hmm. So that's like 36% of all of the usage in a given day comes from the native Windows client, and like 30% or so comes from the native Mac client, and 20% from iPhone and stuff like that. And then on the actual Mac client, we've got a bunch of stuff.
The big thing that I really want to see get into the next version that we're working on is the editor. So like handling of like text in the notes, that's like a huge complaint with people, and a legitimate one, because like
the stuff that I hate the most about the current Evernote is the rich text editing inside the client, especially like if you're cutting and pasting into other stuff. Like it's just it gets kind of. So we're definitely
messed up.
We're working on that. We're adding kind of service wide, but a big part of this will be on the Mac. We're going to be adding searching inside of audio notes. So right now you can search inside of images. You can make audio notes. Well, we'll be making audio notes on the Mac. Right now you can't make them, but that's relatively minor.
Voice
that should be easy.
Yeah, so we'll actually allow you to do searching on that. What are some of the other Mac things you remember offhand?
Another one is, there's sort of normalizing things across the platforms is another thing that we're starting to spend more time on. So we've done the last couple of Mac updates have sort of shuffled things around a little bit to try and get them in line with what the new Windows client is going to be when it comes out.
So like consistency of menus and shortcut keys and stuff like that.
And I think we're going to, it's a huge list, but we want to do redo the email interface, like when you're emailing a note, sort of clean that up and make it nicer. And
well, a big part of that will be sort of as we launch sharing and collaboration, we'll sort of roll the emailing stuff into that. So the thought that you'll have is like, hey, I want to share this note, or I want to share this notebook, and then whether the whole thing goes out in email or you just get sent a link, and you have to like figure all that stuff out. So all that's basically changing to be a lot more a lot more powerful. And then the iPhone version will, and the Mac desktop version will converge a lot in terms of sort of the code use, so that the iPhone version, not the very next one, but sort of in the future, will be a fully synchronizing local client, and it will be kind of
that'll be sweet.
the UI will be different, just because of the form factor, but it'll be very much a sort of a desktop level app. And already the iPhone 3.0 release is like a huge step forward for us. We have been beta testing it, or alpha testing it, for a couple of weeks now, and like I can't even look at our current shipping iPhone 1. Like I boot it up sometimes, and it's like, can't believe I ever liked this. So the new one will be out hopefully as soon as the 3.0 is out.
Have you guys taken a look at all at the kind of the criteria panel as far as UI goes?
The left-hand side.
Yeah, once you have
the
about
left
100
nav.
That's kind of a
tags-
disaster.
I hate the left nav.
Yeah.
So
I hate maybe too strong a word.
yeah,
It's not. It's
there are a lot of things about the left nav.
You
that
love it less than you love the
I
rest of
don't
it.
like. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the major focus of the usability work, is basically kind of how to figure that out. So if you have any suggestions, or if any of your readers have any suggestions, then
Sure.
get in touch with us. And
Is that an open call for?
it is an
For
open
UI.
call for ideas.
Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
we will gladly steal the best
Yeah.
ideas that people want to give us.
Yeah, we listen to everything everybody says too. Like, I have a Google alert search for Evernote, and we all look at everything everybody says, and even the mean stuff that hurts our feelings. You can edit out all the parts where I'm drawing complete blanks on stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be all it is.
I'm
You're
gonna
going to edit that out and just publish us. And what else? I don't know.
They don't have a blooper reel at the end, after the credits roll.
People say that like I should be killed because they hate my voice in that video. Including like yesterday, somebody posted a comment on YouTube like, "Hey, somebody should find this guy and beat him to death because his voice is so bad." I prefer not to be beaten to death. It's weird. So yeah, so we do read everything that people say, and most of it is not that.
And we have feelings.
We have feelings. Yeah.
Our commenters tend to forget that. I don't know if you've ever read comments.
Oh, yeah.
on TUAW, but
Yeah, you guys got a lot of flack for one of the first few articles you did on Evernote. Like,
yeah,
people really.
I was accused of being on your payroll.
Yeah.
Which was awesome for us because it's like as if we have a payroll.
Right. Like that's how sophisticated an operation we run.
Yeah.
Like, we have.
Like especially at that point. I mean, now we've actually raised some money, but like at that point we were like we could barely.
So, were you guys in the keynote?
We weren't in it. I mean, I was in the room.
You know what happened?
I
No,
saw
okay,
the keynote. I
Um,
would have been really excited though.
I just followed it on your live blog. So.
me too. They didn't let me in.
Really?
Really?
You don't get to be like one of the broadcast guys, like up in the first row?
Not this year.
That is fundamentally unjust, man.
I agree.
Yeah, I stood outside
I have
for
that
about
on record.
Absolutely.
grade 27 in that particular list class.
Better than yours overall.
Alright, video's still running. Okay.
Yeah, we had a great time. Phil was an excellent student.